Hi, I'm Nathan. I go by Peteparker, and every week I do comic book reviews because that's the rule around my house. If I want to keep buying them, I have to review them online. So this review is going to be about Venom, number 3. It's the second series ever named Venom by Marvel Comics, but there you go. This is written by Rick Remender, and this issue is penciled by Tom Fowler. Now, in the past, it's been Tony Moore, so I didn't really realize it was a difference until I was looking at it right before this to say who it was, that it was different. So there's some things there. I did notice as I was reading through this book that the art was different than what I was expecting, right? There were parts where I didn't think it was all that great. And now knowing that it's somebody else, I actually think it was very good for somebody else trying to come into the book and make it similar to the way it was before. But it's not as good as what Tony Moore was doing before, in my opinion. So there's a little bit of my opinion about the book so far. Basically, the story in here is it's the very ending of the mission that Flash was on down in the Savage Land to get rid of this Antarctic metal or whatever, this mining facility down in the Savage Land that he was sent on last time. He got kind of sidetracked by the Kraven the Hunter down there in the last issue, and the suit left him for a while and came back. So this is the very end of that mission, the tail end of that mission, along with a new kind of twist about how it's going. So this guy who owns the mining facility in the Savage Land, apparently his name is Crime Master, which I didn't pick up anywhere else before that, but it's written in the front here. It says like Crime Master. That sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is. And then when you get an introduction to him, he actually says his name again, in case you didn't read that front matter in here. Let me see if I can find the picture. There he is. Right there. That's Crime Master. Apparently he owns some mining facilities in the Savage Land, and he ends up using Flash's security clearance to get that metal out of there and into New York by having the Jack-o'-lantern go kidnap Betty. So basically the premise here is that they have cameras all over the Savage Land near the mining facility, and they caught a glimpse of Flash without the symbiote on, and we're able to piece, based on his photo, who it was, and then find out who he cared about and go kidnap her, all while he's on the same 3-day mission, and to make him do what they wanted him to do. Now that's a really cool picture too. That's Jack-o'-lantern, the latest Jack-o'-lantern, who has some serious face issues because he took a grenade to the face. And the way Jack-o'-lantern shows himself to Betty is really like cool too, and creepy, like scary monster movie film type situation. There's some really great introspective monologuing in here. That's, again, great writing by Rick Remender. And basically, while Venom is back in New York City, he's trying to go save Betty, and at the last minute, from being blown up by an oversized bomb put together by Jack-o'-lantern. Then Spider-Man gets involved and thinks that Venom is kidnapped Betty and is kidnapping his friends, and he's trying to take out Venom once and for all. So this makes the symbiote so pissed off that it totally takes over, and Flash loses control, and it wants to kill Spider-Man really bad, as you can see there. And then Flash's handlers decide, okay, now he's lost it altogether, we're going to detonate the bomb in his head or whatever and kill him. And that's the end of the book. The series is great. It is. I mean, the cover is really beautiful. Despite the weird mouth, half mouth on Venom that's smiling, the whole cover is great. And the art is generally pretty good too. There's a lot of aspects of the symbiote, little tendrils coming off of him, and his jaw being dislocated in a couple places. Not on purpose, really. But just as he's flying, swinging through the air there, I don't know if you can see that. See how his jaw's all to one side? It's all kind of interesting. But there is a few like really weird pictures too, and it could be a combination of the inking with the drawing and the coloring. Take a look at Peteparker's face here. Doesn't that look weird? Doesn't he look like he have like a pig nose or something? Like here he looks fine, no problems at all, right? On this one. But here, that is weird. That is a weird picture of Peteparker. But overall, like I said, I expected Tony more in this one, and when I didn't get it, I totally didn't pick up on it. I saw some weirdness and didn't really think of it until just now reading it, so that's pretty good. I don't know necessarily what Tom Fowler's art typically looks like, so I can't compare that into anything else, but overall, I'd give this book a 3 out of 5. They're doing some really interesting things, and they're going an interesting direction with Flash in the Venom suit. I mean, the early on part of the series was a lot different, and it feels like it's still kind of evolving and still kind of changing as we go further into it. And now you've got the introduction of the true introduction of the Crime Master, who's trying to work things around, and his henchmen, which their whole team name is Henchmen. That's weird too. But it's different, right? It's not typical Venom stuff, but you still get a little bit of typical Venom in there. And you get a really creepy jack-o'-lantern, which is great. So I'll give this one probably a 4 out of 5. It'd probably be a 3 out of 5 based on the art, but 4 out of 5 because of the story. And I think the story kind of outweighs the art, so there you go. Hopefully they'll go back to Tony Moore, and this was just like, somebody else filling in so he can get caught up or whatever. But, a lot of times that's not really true. That's not really what happens with these. So, every time I expect a book to go right back to the way it was when I was really liking it, it kind of stays with what it is or moves on to even another artist. So, there you go. So that's it. Venom number 3. If you want to check out the rest of my reviews, you can look for reviews by Peteparker or by Spidey207. The Spidey207 without the E is only on YouTube, so Peteparker is elsewhere. It's all one word. So there you go. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.